One thing. This place couldn't be our home anymore. Too many memories of Maria lived here. "Now give me Janny. Give her over," she said, and it wasn't exactly a request. I sighed and handed over the baby to this 5-foot-tall warrior of a woman who had raised me from the time I was 10 and already orphaned. Nana began to pat Janny's back and to rub her neck, and then the baby produced a righteous belch. Nana and I both laughed in spite of ourselves. "Not very ladylike," Nana whispered. "Now, Janelle, you stop this awful crying. You hear me? You just stop it right now." And Janny did as she was told by Nana Mama. And that was the beginning of our new life. Part 2. Cold Case. Chapter 18. The Present. A letter from that psychopath, Kyle Craig, arrived for me today, and it blew my mind. How could he get a letter to me? It came to the house on 5th Street. As far as I knew, Kyle was still locked away in the Max security facility out in Florence, Colorado. Even so, getting a message from him was disturbing. Actually, it made me sick to my stomach.
Alex, I've been missing you a great deal lately. Our regular talks and whatnot. Which is what prompts this little missive. To be honest with you, what I still find distressing is how beneath me you are, both in terms of intellect and imagination. And yet you were the one to catch me and put me in here, weren't you? The circumstances and ultimate result might lead me to believe in divine intervention. But of course, I'm not quite that incapacitated yet. At any rate, I know that you are a busy boy, no slur intended, so I won't keep you. I just wanted you to know that you're constantly in my thoughts, and that I hope to see you soon. In fact, you can count on it. I plan to kill Nana and the kids first, while you watch. Can't wait to see all of you again. I'm going to make it happen. Promise. Kay.
I read the note twice, then I shredded it and tried to do the opposite of what Kyle obviously wanted me to do. I put him out of my mind. Sort of. After I called the Max security facility out in Colorado and told them about the letter, and made certain that Kyle Craig was still there in his padded cell. Chapter 19. Anyway, it was Saturday. I was off from work. No crime and punishment today. No psychopaths on the horizon. At least none that I knew about yet. The Cross family car these days was an ancient Toyota Corolla that had been Maria's. Other than the obvious sentimental value and its longevity, I didn't think much of the vehicle. Not in terms of form or function. Not the off-white paint job, not the various pockmarks on the trunk and hood. The kids had given me a couple of bumper stickers for my last birthday. "I may be slow, but I'm still ahead of you," and "Answer my prayer, steal this car." They didn't like the Corolla either. So on that bright and sunny Saturday, I took Janny, Damon, and little Alex out to do some car shopping. As we rode along, Twista was on the CD player, Overnight Celebrity, followed by Kanye West's All Falls Down. All the while, the kids never stopped making wild and crazy suggestions about the new car we needed to buy. Janny was interested in a Range Rover, but that wasn't going to happen for all sorts of good reasons. Damon was trying to talk me into a motorcycle, which of course he would get to use when he turned 18 in 4 years, which was so absurd it didn't even get a response from me. Not unless a grunt qualifies as communication nowadays. Little Alex, or Allie, was open to any model of car, as long as it was red or bright blue. Intelligent boy, and that just could work as a plan, except for the red or bright part. So we stopped at the Mercedes dealer out in Arlington, Virginia, which wasn't that far from the house. Janny and Damon ogled a silver CLK 500 cabriolet convertible, while Allie and I tested out the spacious front seat of an R350. I was thinking family car, safety, beauty, resale value, intellect, and emotion. "I like this one," Allie said. "It's blue. It's beautiful. Just right." "You have excellent taste in automobiles, buddy. This is a 6-seater. And what seats they are. Look up at that glass roof. Must be 5 feet or so." "Beautiful," Allie repeated. "Stretch out. Look at all this leg room, little man. This is an automobile." A salesperson named Lori Berger had been at our side the whole time, without being pushy or unnecessarily obtrusive. I appreciated that. God bless Mercedes. "Questions?" she asked. "Anything you want to know?" "Not really, Lori. You sit in this R350 and you want to buy it. Makes my job kind of easy. We also have one in obsidian black, ash upholstery. They call the R350 a crossover vehicle, Dr. Cross. The station wagon meets the SUV." "And combines the best of both," I said, and smiled congenially. My pager went off then, and I groaned loud enough to draw stares. Not on Saturday, and not during car shopping, not while I was sitting in this beautiful Mercedes R350. "Uh-oh," said Allie, and his eyes went wide. "Daddy's pager," he called loudly across the showroom to Damon and Janny. "Daddy's pager went off." "You squealed on me. You're a dirty, rotten squealer," I said, then kissed him on the top of his head. This is something I do at least a half-dozen times a day, every day. He giggled and slapped my arm and giggled some more. He always got my jokes. No wonder the two of us get along so well. Only this pager message probably wasn't funny. Not in the least. I recognized the number immediately, and I didn't think it would be good news. Ned Mahoney from Hostage Rescue? Maybe inviting me to a barbecue and dance out at Quantico. Probably not a barbecue, though. I called Ned back on my cell. "This is Alex Cross. I got your call, Ned." "Why did I get your call?" Ned got right to it. "Alex, you know Kentucky Avenue near 15th and Southeast?" "Of course I do. It's not too far from my house. But I'm out in Arlington right now. I'm with the kids. We're looking to buy a new family car. Can you say family, Ned?" "Meet me there, Kentucky and 15th. I need your help, your local knowledge. I don't want to say too much more on my cell." Ned told me a couple more details, but not all of it. Why was that? What was he keeping to himself? Oh man, oh man, oh man. "How soon? I'm with the kids, Ned." "Sorry about that. My team will be there in about 10-15 minutes at the most. I'm not kidding. All hell's broken loose, Alex." Of course it had. Why else would the FBI's hostage rescue team be involved inside Washington city limits? And why else would Ned Mahoney call me on a Saturday afternoon? "What's up?" Allie looked at me and asked. "I have to go to a barbecue." "I think I'm the main course on the spit, little man." Chapter 20. I promised Lori Berger I would be back for the crossover vehicle soon. Then I drove the kids home, and they were quiet and cranky for the ride. Same as me. Most of the way I was behind a station wagon with the bumper sticker, "First Iraq, then France." I'd been seeing that one all over Washington lately. Hoobastank was blasting irritatingly from the CD player, so that kept everything near chaos, and in perspective. They were the kids, I was the father. I was abandoning them to go off to work. It didn't matter to them that I needed to earn a living or that I might have a serious duty to perform. What the hell was going on at Kentucky and 10th? Why did it have to happen today? Whatever it was. Not something good. "Thanks for the great Saturday, Daddy," Janny said as she was getting out of the car on 5th Street. "Really good. A memory." Her uppity, sarcastic tone of voice kept me from apologizing, as I'd planned to do for most of the ride home. "I'll see you guys later," I said instead. Then I added, "Love you," which I did, intensely. "Yeah, Daddy, later." Like maybe next week, if we're lucky? Janny continued, and flipped an angry salute my way. It went like a spear through my heart. Sorry, I finally said. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Then I headed over to Kentucky Avenue, where I was supposed to meet up with Ned Mahoney and his crack team from hostage rescue, and find out more about whatever emergency was going on there. As it turned out, I couldn't even get close to Kentucky and 10th. D.C. police had every street blockaded within 10 blocks. It certainly looked serious. So I finally got out and walked. What's going on? You heard anything? I asked a man loitering along the way, a guy I recognized from a local bakery where he was a counterman, and where I sometimes bought jelly donuts for the kids. Not for myself, of course. Pigfest, he said. Cops everywhere. Just look around you, brother. It occurred to me that he didn't know I'd been a homicide detective and was FBI now. I nodded at what he said, but you never get used to that kind of resentment and anger, even if sometimes it's justified. Pigs, bacon, whatever some people choose to call us, we put our lives on the line. A lot of folks don't really understand what that's like. We're not anything close to perfect, and don't claim to be, but it's dangerous out here. Try getting shot at on your job, bakery man, I wanted to say to the guy, but didn't. I just walked on, sucked it up one more time, played the happy warrior again. At least I was worked up when I finally spotted Ned Mahoney. I flashed my FBI creds so I could get closer. I still didn't know what the hell was going on, just that unidentified hostages had been taken inside a dealer's lab where drugs were being manufactured and cut. It didn't sound half as bad as it looked. So what was the catch? There had to be one. Now aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Mahoney said as he saw me heading his way. Alex, you're not going to believe this shit. Trust me, you're not. Want to bet? I said. $10 says you haven't seen this one before. Put your money up. We shook on it. I really didn't want to lose this bet. Chapter 21. Ned scratched and rubbed at his blondish, day-or-two-old facial stubble while he talked in his usual animated, non-stop, nobody-else-gets-a-word-in manner. I couldn't help staring at his chin. Ned is fair-skinned, and I think it impresses the hell out of him that he can grow a semblance of a beard, now that he's in his 40s. I do like Ned Mahoney, obnoxious as he can be at times. I like the man a lot. Some guys, maybe a half-dozen, well-armed, came down here to rob the dealer's lab, he said. They ran into some major problems, got hung up inside. Also, there are some neighborhood people who work in the lab, around a dozen or so from what we can gather. They're trapped in there, too. That's another problem we have to deal with eventually. Then, I put up a hand to stop Ned's hyper-intense ramble. The people you mentioned who work at the lab, people who package the drugs, they would be mostly women, mothers, grandmothers. That the case? Dealers like workers they can trust with the product. See why I wanted you here? Mahoney said and grinned. At least he showed me his front teeth. His tone reminded me of Jenny's rant earlier, a little bit of wise-ass masking his vulnerability about being such a man's man. So the drug hijackers and the drug dealers are trapped inside? Why don't we just let them shoot each other? Already been suggested, Mahoney deadpanned. But now we get to the good part, Alex. Here's why you're here. The very well-armed guys who came to jack the lab are DC SWAT. Your old compadres are the other bad guys in today's episode of Anything Can Happen and Probably Will. You owe me $10. I felt sick again. I knew a lot of guys with SWAT. You sure about this? Oh, yeah. Couple of patrolmen heard shots in the building. They went to investigate. One uniform got gut shot. They recognized the guys from SWAT. I moved my head around in circles. Suddenly my neck felt a little tight. So the FBI's HRT team is here to fight it out with DC SWAT? Kinda looks that way, my man. Welcome to the suck and all that. You got any bright ideas so far? Yeah, I thought. Leave here right now. Go back to the kids. It's a Saturday. I'm off. I handed Ned the $10 from our bet. Chapter 22. I sure didn't see any way out of this sticky mess, and neither did anyone else. That's why